All right, good morning out there. Today is Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. I'm Anthony, and this is Drive Dive. And so, been reading a little bit of Susie Welch's Becoming You and focusing on, reflecting on my current values. And some of those do include like achievement. I want to say I value like creativity, intellect, right? Like using my brain. But I also really value spending time with my children. So what that's kind of led me to is down this whole Disney Lorcana rabbit hole. It's a trading card game my son and I have been playing, and I've found a lot of value in video games and specifically card games. Just a fun activity, one, but also just great inherent learning opportunities, right? It's very text-based. You do have to know how to read and comprehend, in order to play a trading card game. There's also a lot of math involved with the arithmetic and kind of algorithms, right? And sort of just thinking about, okay, if this, then that, right? If I do this, what happens? How do these cards interact? What is my opponent going to be able to do? All this other stuff. So there's a lot of great learning opportunities inherent in playing a trading card game such as Disney Lorcana. So I think that's really why I value that activity so much is, again, the intellectual challenge, even that like the creative aspect of trying out different combinations of cards, maybe different combinations that no other players have tried, no other players are, then prepared for when it comes time for tournaments and such. You catch them off guard and get some good wins along the way. And so that's been a lot of fun. Like I said, I place premium on spending time with my kids, and so I spend a lot of time on this, with my son. Some of these tournaments and stuff, you go to a card shop every couple of months, and you're there for hours, 6-7 hours, just playing in a 4 or 5 round tournament, and then a 2 or 3 round playoff. So it's a lot of fun. But I think too, I value like my own ability to just exercise my creativity, and so I've started this whole brand, right? The name of the game is Lorcana, and my son's 8. He's been playing this game since it came out. He was 6 at the time. And so we came up with this idea of starting a YouTube channel, where he'd be opening cards and things. And what did we call it? It was Kidcana. Has a nice flow to it, and it's, piggybacks off the name of the game, Lorcana. He's a kid, so Kidcana. I get to be a little creative, and I get to learn some stuff myself, right, when it comes to either video editing or promoting the brand, and so I guess better understanding, social media and such. But then I'm also using my creativity further by, coming up with images, right, and trying to create some merchandise to go along with this brand, whether it's play mats or card sleeves, because if you're not familiar, you're playing with cards that have value, some in the $30 range, some in the $60 range. Some people play with cards that are valued like over $200, these enchanted cards. I don't think I've seen anybody play with an iconic card just yet. That would be insane. Those cards are valued at $600-$700. So that would be insane. But yeah, so you put these cards in protective sleeves as you're, shuffling and repeatedly, playing these cards, picking them up, putting them down on the table. And so these card sleeves, sometimes they're just a color, sometimes it's a matte finish, sometimes it's more of a glossy finish, other times there are images on them. And so, again, I've been trying to come up with images to put on, on such card sleeves. But then I got to get into the legal aspects of all of this. I did have the name Kidcana trademarked, but a trademark only covers like so many uses or certain types of, rather. And I guess now I'm having conversations with that same attorney about copyright, right? My understanding is these images that I'm creating would ultimately be copywritten. But this is all just with my son. But I also have a daughter, and I've been thinking about how to, there's now this merchandising sort of thing and creating images and all. I want to take some of her, and she's only three, but she's produced what I think, as a loving father, right, is some very cool artwork. I'll obviously it's more like abstract at times, but some of the color combinations and things that she comes up with, and the abstract nature of it, I'm like, ooh, that looks like a princess, and maybe that fits with the sort of Lorcana theme, as there are several Disney princesses, right? And so for me, it'd be fun to try to take some of her physical artwork, capture it digitally, turn it into an image, copyright it, and get it on whether it's a t-shirt or a card sleeve, or even I didn't mention yet, playmats. In addition to putting your cards in protective sleeves, when you then play an opponent, you each put down a mat. It gives you an opportunity to show a little bit more of your personality and favorite characters and such, but it really does too make a difference in terms of like just the ability to pick up your cards off of the table and whatnot. It just makes things a lot easier. Friction is all I can say. It's nice. So that would be another opportunity to exercise my creativity, but also have my daughter and her artistic abilities and such involved in the mix. And so that's everything I'm up to, and I think reading Susie Welch's book Becoming You has kind of helped me better understand why my interests are what they are, right? Why do I like to work out? Why do I invest so much time into my career, into these little side projects with my kids? It's because of this. I value achievement, right? I want to be accomplished. I want to be recognized for my accomplishments. There's other values like I think radius and reach or something. I have to actually take a better look at these things. But that's about how much you want to be able to impact those around you. Right, if you're concerned with legacy, right, it's things like that, which I think I am, right. I want to make an impact. I want to be remembered. I want to, whether that's by my kids or a larger circle like this, Lorcana community. I think it'd be really cool, for myself and for my son. Will my son's values be the same as mine? I don't know. He seems to be a pretty intense competitor. He puts the time in to build decks and test decks, and he wants to travel to these tournaments. Sometimes we drive hours, other times we're on a plane for larger tournaments and such. So it's a pretty big endeavor, and he's all for it. Is it because he also values spending time with family, namely me? I don't know, but it's cool to read Susie Welch's book when you're able and interested, and use that as a tool to reflect on yourself, your values, and how they manifest themselves in your daily activities and interests. So that's it for me. Thank you for listening, watching. Get a chance, comment down below. I love to interact with subscribers or non-subscribers. But please do like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. I will catch you on the next one. Hope you enjoy your Tuesday. Whatever your interests are, I don't know, get after it. I'll see you. Take care.